welcome back to my channel. My name is Sahar and today I'm going to be reviewing the AOA blending sponge. As you can see, I don't have any foundation on and I'm going to be using this for my foundation today. I will be using this versus another sponge just to see if there's a difference in application. It's already wet. I do have some videos when it's dry. It kind of just looks like any other ordinary sponge. I don't have the beauty blender, so I can't really say anything about its comparison to that sponge. But I do have other sponges, and yeah, so sizes are kind of the same, kind of similar, and when it's wet, it's also kind of similar as the, just like all the other sponges I have. So I do have 4 sponges here. I actually have 5. One is the JUNO&Co sponge plus like a brandless microfiber sponge. I do have a video on that and I will be linking that down below. Which one is better? Do you really need the JUNO&Co brand, or the other ordinary brand is like it's cheaper? Anyway, stay tuned. And yeah, so I have 4 different sponges. And I have to say, the softest out of all of these is the LA Girl sponge. This is still my favorite when it comes to application on the face because it's just so soft. So I have the LA Girl sponge, my favorite for foundation. For concealer, I really like the MORPHE sponge, but this is it's not as soft as the LA Girl sponge. But this shape is amazing for like under the eyes, for contouring. Amazing shape. And then this JUNO&Co sponge is amazing for everything except highlighters, I think, because they just makes the highlighters a little more subtle because it's kind of dry. But this is also great for concealer. Amazing coverage with this, especially if you're trying to hide some scars. And then the AOA sponge, it just seems like an ordinary shape, teardrop shape, not ordinary sponge. It is not as soft as the LA Girl sponge, but it is not as like hard. This is not hard, it's not as soft. Like it's in between. It's in between the LA Girl sponge and the MORPHE sponge. So it's kind of soft. I really do like the shape, especially when you go like in this area of your face. This is the problem I have with the LA Girl sponge. I can't really get into that area very well. So this is going to be interesting. I've never tried a sponge like this before, even if this is the very first shape ever that the beauty blender came up with. Lazy day, yay! Since this is kind of more similar to the MORPHE sponge, I will be using it side by side. So for the application / demo, I will be using one of my favorite foundations from the drugstore. This is the Revlon Colorstay, just because I know how this it applies on my face. This is in the color Sand Beige, and I'm doing 1 pump on one side and 1 pump on the other side. I'll start with this side first, and I'm going to be using the AOA sponge for this side. This is really affordable. I really do think that there are a lot of sponges out there that are super affordable. You don't have to like pay a lot for good sponges. I just noticed that it stopped recording. Great. I usually use 2 layers of the Revlon Colorstay foundation to do my makeup, just because I have a lot of scarring, and even if I do 2 layers, the scarring still peeks through a little. I do like the sponge. It doesn't seem to soak up much product, just like the LA Girl sponge, as say the Real Technique sponge does. I do have that, but I use it too much, and it started to break real quick, and I was not very impressed by the Real Technique sponge. I mean, at first I was, but when I tried the LA Girl sponge, I was like, oh, baby, LA Girl for the win. I love the shape of the teardrop. I love this pointy thing for here. It's perfect. Nothing much to say. It's kind of like any of my sponges would apply my makeup. Let's try the MORPHE one on the other side. Okay, the shape of the MORPHE one is a little thinner. It's a little thinner, like not thinner, but because this is like chubby, it goes wide here, and this just goes back down. So I kind of like the chubbiness of this when applying my foundation. So I'm done. No difference. It's exactly the same. The AOA sponge was a little softer than the MORPHE sponge. So next we're going to do concealers. I'm just going to be using my Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer. This is in the color Light or Light Pale. I'm trying to find the Neutralizer, which is my favorite, but I feel like they don't have it here. I'm having a hard time looking for that shade, Neutralizer. So we're gonna see how easy this is to apply. This is what I'm having struggles with when I use the LA Girl sponge. I have such a hard time with this under eye area. Oh, but this is very, very easy to work with. Yep. I love the shape of this. It's a good shape. Okay, that was really, really easy. This is one of my favorite sponges to do my under eyes with because it's really quick, shape is really good, and it gives me really good coverage. See how it just hugs that area just right there, and then it's done. That's why I do love this for, like, especially if I'm trying to get high coverage under my eyes. This is a great sponge for that. If you're wondering, Morphe has this like triple threat set, which includes this, the primer, and the setting spray. I think it's a good deal. I think you should go grab it. I have a like first impressions video, which I'll be linking down below. So yeah, and then I'm done. Since this sponge has a round, it goes to a tip, but it starts round, it does have a lot of surface area to apply product on. This is a great shape, and I really like the sharp tip because it really goes into this area right here, which is the hardest part for me to reach with any other sponge. So finally, I'm gonna be figuring out how well this sponge cleans. Every other sponge I have is really hard to clean. I really have to like soak it in soap and water for a really long time, but I don't really mind. Hey, so I'm back, and this washes really well. It actually is almost completely pink again, which I'm very impressed by. Out of all of them, this washes the best, and it's also the cheapest, and it's soft, and I really like the shape. So definitely going to pick up more of these, especially if this starts to like crumble after like overuse. But I really do like this sponge. I do recommend it. If you don't want to get any of these three, if you think they're a little more expensive for a sponge, then I think you should go get the AOA sponge. The shape is amazing, great for foundation, great for concealer. I think this performs just the same way as other sponges, except the JUNO&Co one, because the JUNO&Co one does have like little fibers, so this is kind of different. These are more of the same material as opposed to this. But again, I have a review on this. I'll be linking that down below or maybe up here. Definitely one of my favorite sponges, and yeah, I think it's like second to the LA Girl sponge, just because the LA Girl one is just super soft, and I really love how it applies on my skin. Okay, I seem to, whenever I make reviews, I feel like I find a new favorite. So I hope this video was helpful to some of you, and please let me know please let me know in the comments down below if you did try this out, or if there's another sponge that is really amazeballs and I'd love to try it out. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and that notification bell at the side. Tell me what you want to see maybe in the future, and I'll see you hopefully in my next video. Thank you so much. Bye.